Welcome to this edition of Transformation Thursday. As always, we are excited. We are delighted that you are here with us to join us in this discussion on today. Welcome, welcome. I also just want to take a moment to also welcome my trusted partner, Dr. Christopher Chappell, as he is joining again on this day, Transformation Thursday. Today, I want to talk to you just a little bit about growth. Over the weekend, I spent some time in my yard and I noticed I had some weeds in my garden. And so I began to pull them out. But it was so many of them that I discovered that I needed a little bit more. And so I went and got some herbicide to spray on them to kill them, trying to do some weed management, if you will. What I discovered as I was going through this process is that weeds sometimes have a tendency to grow in difficult spaces. In fact, that's what a weed is. A weed is simply a plant out of place. It's a plant out of place. And sometimes in each of our lives, we will be out of place. We will feel like we are out of place. In Jeremiah chapter 29, the prophet is speaking to the exiles, those who have been displaced from their homeland, displaced from what they were comfortable with. They have been displaced. And he is telling them that even in this place where you feel uncomfortable, even in this place where you feel a lack of connection, he tells them that I want you to grow. In fact, if you look at his words, he says that you need to multiply. You need to build homes and you need to have families. You need to multiply. He literally is telling them that even in a difficult space, you still need to be growing. And on today, as a part of Transformation Thursday, I want to implore you that even though you're in your difficult space, you still need to be growing. And Dr. Chappell, I want to ask you to kind of share with our listening audience, how do you have a growth mindset in a difficult space, in a difficult moment, or a difficult season?
I think about one of the toughest years that I faced. It was post-graduation and jobless. I was in that place for quite some time, putting in application after application, receiving rejection after rejection. I had to decide in that time that either I'm going to grow from it or I'm going to fall under the weight of the pressure. Mm-hmm. And as you keep pushing through, as you keep going in those difficult moments, you go because the alternative isn't suitable for life. Mm. And I knew that all of the no's had to get me to a yes. But the great thing about perseverance is as you continue to go, you will find little gems along the way. Mm. I'll never forget the best rejection letter I ever received in my entire life. It was a rejection that in a job that I was actually looking forward to. It was a rejection letter that came and it explained why they rejected me.
Okay.
Now, after receiving, this is a year-long process for me at this time. But after receiving that particular rejection letter, it is stated that though you may be a suitable candidate for others for this job, we're looking for someone who can execute. That's not just a doer. From your resume, we see that you can do many things, but we don't see where you have created and built, all those type of things. And I'll never forget that, and it sticks with me all the time. But the point is how you receive those things that's difficult. It's how you respond to the moment. And if you respond to the moment with negative thinking, with thinking that doesn't move you forward, you'll never go ahead. We see two people that can experience the same thing. I think we talked about this on last week when we were talking about generational wealth. Two different families having a similar experience, but the decisions in those moments, and those were good moments. So imagine what type of decision that if you will falter in good moments, how it'll impact you in bad moments. So you have to learn how to build in the bad times so you can expedite growth even further in the good times. That's my thinking on how to deal with bad times and those difficult moments to navigate forward.
I love that. And I want to grab hold to one of the things that you pointed out. If you look in Jeremiah chapter 29, one of the things that the prophet suggests to us, he says, don't listen to those who are suggesting to you that you ought not be growing. That's real powerful when I caught that statement, because sometimes in the midst of our difficult moments and difficult environments and struggles and strife, sometimes we want to say it is what it is and just almost lay down and die. But literally, he was telling us that even in those moments, you need to keep growing. You need to keep persevering. You need to keep pushing through to get to. And so I love that. And I love the fact that, we really have to have that mindset where we're anchored in, where we are totally into where we are going. And I want to pick up a little bit further and kind of highlight a little bit further in that text, because one of the things that the prophet also highlighted, he says that in essence, there's an appointed time. In other words, at some point, this will end. At some point, it will end, and you will be where you are moving towards. But you can't stop, because if you stop right there, you will die right there. But he says there's an appointed time, but you got to keep moving towards it. Keep moving towards that. There is a season for all things. There's a season for all things. And then he finishes up with the very familiar text where he lets us know, God lets us know that I have a future plan for you. I have a future plan for you, and it will lead you, or it will help you have hope when you're struggling through. I have a future plan, and that should give you hope as you are pushing your way through.
There's always some direction available. If we're careful, we won't miss it.
I like that. Yeah.
Right? Because hope is always available. Sometimes we have to dig a little deeper to find it.
Absolutely.
Right. So I'm saying that to say, even in the most difficult moments, you still have to hold on or find something. Maybe you don't have nothing to hold on to exactly in your mind, right? man, you have to dig to find something that will move you to believe something that's possible and positive.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I think about a story that my dad once told me. He was telling me about this business venture that he was working towards, and he had all these roadblocks. And everywhere along the way, every roadblock that he was facing, his conscious mind was saying, man, this may not work. But he told me that regardless to what the talk was, his actions always proved that I believe deep down that something is going to work.
I like that.
And that's how it is sometimes. We may not know how it's going to work out, but we have to keep moving in belief and hope that something will work out. And I'm of the belief that if we trust him, that it's going to work. I was literally just telling somebody not long ago, show me a situation where it never worked, where it didn't work out for you.
Yeah, I like that.
Show me a situation where it didn't work out. So if we have evidence that it always will work out, we have no time for the lack of belief. We have to hold on to that hope that is given. We have to hold on to that hope because it's powerful.
Right.
We have to hold on because letting go, again, isn't the alternative that we desire. So no matter how difficult, no matter how challenging, we dig in, we hold on.
Yeah. I like that. I was reading a story just recently of this lady. She was giving up her story. She was sharing her story, and she talked about that she was going through a divorce. And then she goes on to say that in addition to that, her job, it was difficult. Things were difficult on her job to the degree where she was falling into a place of depression. And she found herself sitting on her sofa, contemplating suicide. Sitting on her sofa, going through a divorce, struggling on her job, having difficult moments, and contemplating suicide. And as she thought about it, and even got to the point where she was ready to do it, something clicked. And something that she had wanted to do years before, it hit her in her mind. And instantly, she got up and started working in that space. And she said to us that now she is the owner of a $28 million business. Can you imagine if she would have given up? If she would have died right there on her sofa? If she would have died in her valley moment? At some point, each of us will be in a valley moment, a valley of despair, a valley of rejection, disappointment, of lack, of abuse and misuse or hurt. But we still need to grow.
You know, Doc, I don't want to be dismissive of anybody's pain, and I definitely don't want to sound that way. It's those moments of despair that has the ability to make you. But the only way that it can make you is if you allow yourself to be open to the possibility of tomorrow. When you look at yourself and you determine that I'm not done yet, despite how dark that hole is. I'm saying this because I recently lost someone that I've known since childhood because they lost hope.
Mm.
And they quit on life because of a mistake, a misstep. Your lowest points and your darkest moments, they don't define you. If you allow, they can help shape you, no matter how bad it may seem.
Yeah.
Now, in the case where you're talking about the young lady that turned it around and said, I'm not done yet, and start to instantly move in purpose, that's powerful, because the enemy wants to steal your purpose. That's why he want to steal, kill, and destroy, because he know that if he kill you, your purpose die with you.
Right.
He know if he destroy you, your purpose die with you. He know if he steal from you, you steal your joy, your hope, your possibility, your purpose die with you. You have to just believe that I'm not done yet. Look, I am the first to admit that I'm not where I want to be at in life.
Mm-hmm.
I have much further to go. But every single day, no matter how tough and no matter how far behind it may seem, I still have to say, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we have real people in our corner, they'll tap you on your chest and say, you're not done yet.
Yeah.
But if you don't have anybody else, you have to believe that God says, because you woke up, you're not done yet. So, hey,
I love it.
just have to move, man.
I love that. That's awesome. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I want to end right there. I want to end right there because that's super powerful. And so I want our listening audience to grab hold to that and affirm with me, affirm with Dr. Chappelle. I am not done yet. I will not die here, but I will grow. I won't listen to the negative voices. I will grow. I won't succumb to the valley moments. I will grow. I'm not done yet. See you next week on Transformation Thursday.